If you're always busy, you're probably lazy. Sounds insane, right? Society worships busyness. People brag, "I'm so busy," like it's a badge of honor. But the brutal truth? Busyness isn't proof of ambition. It's proof of avoidance. Because busy people disguise laziness with motion. They're not doing the work that matters. They're doing the work that makes them feel useful without producing real results. That's why being busy is the new lazy. Think about it. How many times have you filled an entire day with meetings, emails, errands, and still ended it asking, "What did I actually achieve?" That's busyness. High effort, low impact, activity without direction. Laundry lists instead of leverage, and people love it because busyness feels good. It gives dopamine of progress. But in reality, you're stuck running in circles, convincing yourself the wheel is forward motion. Here's the uncomfortable psychology. Most people are terrified of the hard, high-leveraged, high-impact tasks, making the big sales call, creating the product, writing the book, starting the startup. So instead, they drown themselves in endless busy work emails, tweaking logos, reorganizing notes, attending meetings, all low-stakes, low-impact noise. It feels safe. It feels like working. But it's cowardice. That's why busy is lazy. It's procrastination in disguise. Science backs it up. Parkinson's law says work expands to fill the time given. Give someone a week to build a presentation, they'll use the week. Give them a day, they'll compress it. Busy people are masters of Parkinson's law. They stretch meaningless tasks endlessly to feel important. Productive people compress and complete. Another study looked at managers who overbooked schedules with meetings. Most produced no more output than lean teams with less chatter. But the busier managers self-rated themselves as more valuable. Ego loves busy. Quiet productivity feels invisible. No one claps when you focus silently for 3 hours of deep work. But people clap when you say, "I had 12 meetings today." Busyness feeds ego. Productivity feeds results. Guess which one lazy minds prefer? Ego applause. I know because I lived the lie. Early in my career, I wore busy like armor. My calendar full of meetings. My inbox overflowing. I worked late nights, exhausted, bragging. "Look how hard I'm grinding." But when I looked closely, almost no meaningful progress. The book idea sat untouched. The business stagnated. The important work scared me because failure was possible. So I avoided it, buried under busyness. Busy was my badge. Busy was my laziness. When I finally confronted it, everything changed. I asked, if I judged my day by the results, not the hours, what mattered? Suddenly, half my day evaporated. I killed endless email cycles, cut meetings in half, automated repetitive tasks. Then, I blocked 3 hours for the most important move, writing that one habit produced more value than weeks of busyness. That's when it clicked. True productivity is narrow, not wide. Busy is shallow. Focus is deep. Busy destroys success in 3 ways. First, it kills focus. Your brain can't switch from task to task without losing efficiency. Multitasking is busyness's favorite costume. Science proves each switch costs minutes of readjustment. Multiply that daily, and you lose hours to friction. Second, busyness blocks compounding. Small, daily focused effort compounds into mastery and wealth. Busy people never go deep enough for compounding. They reset every day, chasing new, small fires. Third, busyness feeds burnout, because you're exhausted without progress. That frustration pushes people into quitting, not because they can't succeed, but because busyness tricked them into output with no outcome. Burnout isn't overwork, it's working hard on meaningless things. So why do people cling to it? Because busyness equals safety. Checking off 20 small tasks is tangible, comfortable, low risk, deep, meaningful work is dangerous. Start the business. Risk failure. Ask for the raise, risk rejection. Launch the book, risk silence. Easier to be busy tweaking PowerPoint slides nobody cares about. Busyness equals risk aversion. Here's another truth. Busyness is a drug. Dopamine hits every time you cross off a small task. People chase that micro high all day, addicted to the illusion of progress. But the real work, the single scary task that would move your life forward, sits untouched. Why? Because it's one big mountain climb, not 20 tiny check marks. Your ego prefers the check marks. Laziness disguised as achievement, greatness lives in focus. Steve Jobs famously said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." He obsessed over narrowing. Bill Gates locked himself away to think deeply for days. Writers, athletes, leaders, none of them celebrate busyness. They structure lives to cut noise and maximize the few high-leverage moves. So what does working smart look like? It starts with one question. If I could only do 3 things today that create 80% of my results, what are they? Everything else? Optional, automated, delegated, ignored. That's the 80-20th rule. Smart workers use it daily. Second, practice saying no. Busy people say yes compulsively to prove worth. Productive people guard their time ruthlessly because they know time is the currency of results. Each no to busyness is a yes to potential. Third, schedule deep work. Block hours where no emails, no phones, no distractions exist. 1 hour of deep work builds more output than 10 hours of shallow busyness. Fourth, judge yourself by results, not exhaustion. At the end of the day, ask, what irreversible progress did I create? What moved me forward permanently? If the answer is nothing, you just lived a busy, lazy day. When I built this habit, my whole life bent upward. My income rose because I cut noise projects and doubled down on high-leverage client work. My creativity exploded because daily deep work built momentum. My confidence skyrocketed because exhaustion no longer disguised zero results. People asked, "How are you less busy, but achieving more?" Answer, because busy is lazy. I stopped worshiping hours and started sharpening focus. So here's the brutal manifesto. Stop bragging about busy. Doesn't mean you're ambitious. It often means you're scared. You've even hiding behind calendars and checklists instead of staring at the one task that will change your life. Stop feeding ego with fake productivity. Start feeding results with courage. Being busy is the new lazy. Real strength is ignoring the noise, focusing on the needle movers, enduring boredom, and grinding consistently on the one thing that actually matters. Lazy people are addicted to activity. Real builders are addicted to outcomes. So today, pick one hard, high-leverage thing. Do it fully. Ignore the noise. And when envy creeps in, seeing others brag about how busy they are, smile because you know the truth. They're just lazy with extra steps. Don't be busy. Be effective. Don't be lazy, disguised as productive. Be surgical, because in the end, nobody remembers how busy you were. They remember what you actually built.